is Elysia English and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on a really fun project. Since you know a few months ago we acquired horses, it means that there's no long-term vacations for us this summer. But that's totally okay. We live on a beautiful property and we planned some fun staycation activities for our boys to do over the summer break. So during this video, I want to show you a fun staycation idea that you can do with your family and you get to do it right in your own dining room. So with the help of my Cricut Maker 3, I want to show you just how easy it is for me to bring my ideas to life. Thank you so much to Cricut Canada for sponsoring this video. So for project number 1, we're going to need some basic canvases so that we can create our paint night. But we're not going to leave these as plain white canvases. We're going to use the Cricut Design Space to make these masterpieces. So we headed to the search bar to search for landscapes, hoping to find something that would go along with things that my boys enjoyed. And since my son Dayton loves ducks, I was looking for something that might have a pond or a woodland duck theme to it. And I was able to see so many different options. And once I was able to find the one that I wanted, I was able to add it to my canvas. Once it was on my canvas, I was able to resize it to the exact dimensions of the canvas that we were using to be able to create our masterpiece. So I now have this landscape design that we're going to put on the canvas already cut out. And I decided to use the Cricut Smart Stencil because not only can I cut without a mat, which is super easy, it makes it so much faster, but also this smart material is so good with the stencil, helps to not have your paint bleed underneath. So now I'm going to take one of my Cricut tools. This is the greatest weeding tool ever. And I'm going to remove all the parts that I want to be able to paint on my canvas, leaving the actual image. And since my son Dayton loves ducks, I thought that this really cute landscape with the ducks on it would be exactly something that he would love. And I'm simply just removing anything that I don't want. And the idea with these paintings is that the boys will be able to have the image onto their actual canvas, paint the entire background, and then we'll be able to remove the actual stencil vinyl, leaving it white where all of the image was in place already for them. So I'm just using the weeding tool to remove all of the parts that we don't want. So I'll show you kind of a progress. So that was just the basic outline. Now I'm gonna go in and take out all of those small spots. And that's why the weeding tool is so handy to have. So everywhere that I'm taking off will eventually have paint on their canvas. I think this is a really neat way to be able to make a home staycation for your family, but also if you wanted to use this idea to run little paint nights for kids. I used to do art classes and sure wish that I would have had this as a tool to be able to use to be able to let the kids make really neat masterpieces. The other great thing is that there were so many different landscapes. Like I said, my son loves ducks, so I was able to find a bunch of different options that would have had ducks involved in the landscape, so you could really personalize it for each person that you're making their little background for. I now have my image completely weeded out, and you can see it is really a sweet image. And I'm going to now transfer it onto the canvas. And in order to do that, so I can keep the design the same orientation that was already presented for me, put out on the Cricut Maker, is I'm going to use a piece of Cricut transfer tape. I've already pre-cut this to the size that I need, so I'm going to remove the white backing, and that will leave me a clear grid that I can then put on. I love that it's clear because then I can see where I'm going to place the image down onto the canvas. And I'm just going to lay it on top. And I usually like to start from the middle, and then I can just press it down. It is so easy to do. It's like a giant clear sticker. So you can see it says Cricut transfer tape all over it now. Now to ensure that all of my image is stuck to the transfer tape, I'm going to use my other Cricut tool here to be able to score over the top and the back side, just holding and making sure that it's pressed firmly together to help aid in the transferring process. And the good thing about the transfer tape is that we're going to be doing more than one canvas and I'll be able to reuse it. So that is not a piece wasted, it's a piece that we can then reuse. There we have our image completely on the transfer tape. I'm going to take my canvas now, lay it on top, and we'll be able to remove the transfer tape. Because it's clear, I can see exactly where I want it to go on the canvas. I now have the Smart Stencil vinyl on the actual backside of the canvas. Now that I have one prepared for Dayton, I'm going to make one for Chase as well. So for this second project, I thought it would be so cute to be able to use my Cricut Maker 3 to make some custom aprons for the boys. And I was thinking something that was relaxing and kind of went with the staycation vibe. So I thought of something like, you know, sit, paint, relax, or sit, paint, unwind. So what I did was I played around with the Cricut Design Space to be able to edit the image so that it would say something like relax, paint, unwind. It had a few other little images on it. What I'm going to do is use the iron-on, and I use the Smart iron-on because, again, super convenient to not have to use the mat. And I'm going to weed out all of the items that I don't need surrounding. That way I'll be able to iron this onto this really adorable apron. And so I thought, well, this is just the cutest way to be able to have something, and they're easy to wash and fold up to be able to use on a different paint night. I then headed in the design space to the heat press guide to be able to see exactly based on the cotton blend material that I have for the apron, which setting I needed to be able to put my Easy Press at. I'm using my Easy Press. I also have a larger version and an Easy Press Mini, but since this is a medium-sized project, I decided to go with the Easy Press. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to power it on, and I can set my settings. And I'll know when I'm ready to use my press at 315 degrees because my Cricut symbol here is going to turn green. So I have my design placed where I'd like to have it on the apron, and I'm ready to hit my button for my timer for the heat press. My heat press is going to start counting down 30 seconds for me, and then I'll know it is time to remove the heat press. A totally customized, relaxed paint unwind apron to be able to have at our staycation paint party. Let's work on project number 3. For project number 3, we're going to take a recycled jar and we're going to turn it into a cute little decor item to put at our paint station. So in the design space, I was looking for things that looked like crafting or painting supplies, and so I was able to find palettes and paintbrushes and different little paint tubes to be able to use the images for the front of the jar. And in the design space, I found things like paint palettes and paint tubes and paintbrushes, and I thought it would be super cute to decorate the outside of this. So oftentimes when you're sitting at a paint night or at a paint class, you have not only a drink with you, but you also have the water to mix your paintbrush. So let's not be confused on which is which, and decorate a cute jar to be able to put our dirty water for the paintbrushes in. So I have already weeded out a bunch of different designs that were in that design space. So I have a paint palette, I have little paint tubes, and I have a little selection of paintbrushes. So I'm going to use the transfer tape, same material we used in the previous projects, and transfer the images onto the glass. So all I'm doing is layering the transfer tape on top. I'm going to use my little scoring tool to be able to go over top, making sure that it's pressed down on the front and back, and then we're just going to transfer it onto the glass. When you're transferring vinyl onto glass, it sticks so well, and so it's so nice and easy to be able to do and incredibly fast. I'm just peeling this off, and you can see that so quickly. Just push it on the glass and remove the tape. And I now have it transferred on. It's so easy. Okay, let's get a few more things onto our glass. Okay, that's adorable. And there we have the cutest recycled glass jar with our little art designs on it, ready to fill it with paintbrushes and a little bit of water. So our boys have painted their images. You can see they have had a lovely time painting. And what I want to do is show you what it looks like to remove that smart stencil. It's going to look so neat to see all of the images underneath. There Dayton has his adorable duck landscape. I think the colors are beautiful. And it was so nice to be able to use the smart stencil to be able to create this image as if he painted this beautiful masterpiece. What a fun staycation idea to have a paint party. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. We sure had fun having our staycation paint evening. We were able to create 3 projects literally in only just a few minutes to be able to prepare to have a whole evening of fun right here in our own home. So with the help of my Cricut Maker 3, I was able to create those 3 projects. The backgrounds for our landscape paintings, we were able to make a custom apron, which we literally could have put anything on. The possibilities are endless with the Cricut Design Space. And then we made an adorable piece of decor for our paintbrushes on our paint night table. I have so many more ideas that I could have added to this paint night, and it would have been so fast to be able to make each and every one of them using my cut machine. So stay tuned for more Cricut projects. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe and follow along on our journey renovating our old abandoned home, working on DIY projects, thrifting, refinished furniture, and all types of fun creative projects. I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on our next episode.